Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Moses Venugra Wijaya, a second semester student from the Management Study Program, 9th class. It's a great honor for me to stand before you today. On this occasion, I would also like to introduce my fellow group members who have collaborated in this project. The first one is Joshua, second one is Ailen, third one is Alfian, the fourth one is Aditya, and the last second one is Tiara. Together, we will be presenting a biographic overview of one of the most extraordinary figure in human histories, Leonardo da Vinci. In this presentation, we will explore the remarkable narrative of Leonardo da Vinci life, beginning with his early life and formative years followed by the significant journey of his intellectual, artist, and scientific pursuits, and finally concluding with the closing chapter of his life and enduring legacy. The presentation will be delivered collaboratively by Joshua, Ailen, Alfian, Aditya, and Tiara. We will outline the birth of the artist, the Renaissance and Leonardo da Vinci, the birth of Mona Lisa painting, the peak and final stage constellation. We would also like to express our deepest gratitude and respect to our honorable lecturer, Mr. Karta Atmaja, for his guidance and support in this project. Without any further ado, we humbly invite you to engage with and enjoy your presentation. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Moses, for the introduction. Allow me to briefly introduce myself. My name is Joshua Septian. In this section of presentation, I will discuss the early life of Leonardo da Vinci, focusing on his background, childhood, and the formative influences that shaped his intellectual curiosity and artistic potential. By examining these early experiences, we can better understand the foundations that later enabled Leonardo to develop into one of the most remarkable polymaths in history. Leonardo Piero da Vinci was born on April 15, 1452 in the Tuscan hill town of Vinci, about 20 miles west of Florence, Italy. He was the illegitimate son of Sir Piero da Vinci, a successful Florentine notary from a long line of notaries, and Caterina di Meolipi, a lower-class woman. His parents married others the following year, leaving Leonardo with limited paternal involvement. Raised initially possibly by his mother in Vinci or Anciano, he later lived with his paternal grandfather, Antonio da Vinci, by 1457. Receiving only basic informal education in reading, writing, math, and his artistic talents were recognized early. By the mid 1450, his family relocated to Florence, the epicenter of Renaissance, humanism, and culture. Around age 14, Leonardo entered as a Garzone studio boy in Andrea del Verrocchio's Warsaw, training for 7 years until qualifying as a master in 1472. There, he learned drafting, metallurgy, sculpting, painting, and more alongside talents like Botticelli and Perugino. Influenced by masters like Donatello, Masaccio, and Piero della Francesca's Perspective Studios, Leonardo collaborated on Verrocchio's The Baptism of Christ, painting the angels so masterfully that legend claims Verrocchio quit painting. His earliest dated work, 1473 pen and ink landscape of the Arno Valley, showcased innovative landscape depiction, childhood memories like a kite visiting his cradle, recorded later in the Codex Atlanticus, hint at early curiosity about nature. By 1472, at age 20, he joined the Guild of St. Luke, but stayed tied to the Verrocchio studio, even modeling possibly for Ferruccio's David, Bronze and Tobias, and the Angel. This formative period in Florence built his technical prowess amid the city's artistic ferment, setting foundations for his polymath genius. That concludes my part of the presentation. Thank you for your kind attention. I would now like to hand over the presentation to Ellen, who will continue with the discussion of Leonardo da Vinci's life journey and significant accomplishments.
Thank you, Joshua. allow me to introduce myself. My name is Alan, and as part of the presentation, I will elaborate on Leonardo da Vinci's life journey, particularly highlighting his intellectual pursuit, artistic masterpiece, and scientific exploration that contribute greatly to the spirit of the Renaissance. Leonardo's independent career ignited in Florence from 472 to 482, qualifying as master, yet collaborating with Vergil. Early works include Madonna of the Carnation 47-2, 47-8, Ginevra da Vinci 47-4, 40-18, and Benoist Madonna 47-8, 40-81, displaying emerging mastery of portrait and humanism. In 4078, he secured his first solo commission for Palazzo, Reggio Capel of Saint Bernard altarpiece, taught and finished 48. One broke the adoration of the Magi for San Donato monk, abandoned upon his Milan move. In 4082, sent by Lorenzo de' Medici as ambassador, Leonardo joined Duke Ludovico Forza de Moro in Milan, offering engineering and military skills over painting in a famous letter, Bring a Horse Liar. His first Milanese period, 4082 499. For this, he painted Virgin of the Rocks, two versions, for the Confraternity of the Immaculate Conception, Lady with an Ermine, 4083, 4019, Cecilia Gallerani, and La de la Foraine, 4019, 4098. Iconic Philadelphia Man, 4085, explored human proportion. Engineering feats include model for Milan Cathedral's cupola, the massive grand caval equestrian statue for Francesco Forza, are realized due to metal shortage in 1494 and 1498. Travel Sala delle Asse, Mulberry Pergola in Forza Castillo. He consulted on Pavia Cathedral, sketched Regusol and traveled for Forza, including to Hungary in 1485. Big achievement like The Last Supper, 1495 to 1498, for Santa Maria delle Grazie captured disciples. Reaction to betrayal using experimental tempera and gezodet leather. Deteriorated. This era elevated him as Milan court genius, blending art, science, and invention. Thank you very much for your attention. I would now like to invite Alvian to continue the presentation by discussing the birth of Mona Lisa painting and post 1499 France invasion.
Thank you, Alan. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Alfian Ajumahendra. In this section of my presentation, I will outline the life of Leonardo da Vinci, specifically highlighting how the Mona Lisa and other works were born. This work of art were born from his talent. Was 1499, French invasion of Austin Sforza, Leonardo's second Florentine period, 1015 1500 until 558. South Venice Defense Engineering. Then Florence returned. He served Cesare Borgia as military engineer 1502, mapping Imola and Siena Valley, proposing armor navigation, and Florence Sea Dam. Back in Florence by 1503, he rejoined Guild of Saint Luke, began Mona Lisa, and incorporated the Virgin and Child with Saint Anne and Saint John. Michelangelo, he designed Lost Battle of Anghiari mural for Palazzo Vecchio, known via copies. Summoned to Milan by French Governor Charles de Amboise, he took pupil Francesco Melzi, pursued science freely, and sorted family estate disputes after Feathers 1504. That second Milanese stint involved Porta Oriental home. Trifulzio equestrian plans halted by 1512 invasion, and Fabio the other residence in Rome 1513 until 1516.
Yeah.
Under Pope Leo X, he lived in Belvedere experimented, dissected for focal studies, planet pointing Mars drainage, but faced rivalry from Michelangelo, Raphael, and illness. Salvator Mundi, 1499 until 1510, sold 1070 for $450 million. An ongoing Mona Lisa market, artistic peak. Invention like flying machines, armored vehicle, solar invention like flying machines, armored vehicle, solar concentrators, and double hulls showcase ingenuity. Top view built anatomical, optical, geological, advanced field notebooks, unpublished. By 1516, right-hand paralysis emerged, nothing decline. Thank you very much for your attention. I would now like to invite Aditya to come and continue the presentation by discussing the peak of Leonardo da Vinci career and the final stage of his life. Thank you.
Thank you, Alfian. Allow me introduce myself. My name is Aditya Rahman. In this session, I will discuss the pinnacle of Leonardo da Vinci career, including the period during which his intellectual and artistic achievement reached their greatest influence. Additionally, I will briefly explore the final years of his life and the circumstances that marked the closing chapter of his extraordinary journey. In 1516, King Francis I invited Leonardo to France, granting close-look manor near Amboise Chateau with 10,000 scudi pension, accompanied by Melzi and servant. He designed Romorantin Castleton with mechanical line for pages revealing lilies. He continued Mona Lisa refinings. Leonardo died May 2, 1519 at close age 67, likely from stroke. Vasari recalled that bad reputation for unfinished art praised confession. Legends say Francis held his head, possibly apocryphal, will bequeathed paintings to Melzi, vineyards to servant land to brother, buried Saint Florentine Courts Amboise. Melzi preserved 1300 notebook page pushing art or science. Francis praised him as supreme philosopher, legacy, endurance, philosopher, invention, and genius archetype. Thank you for your attention. To conclude our presentation, I would now like to hand over to Tiara, who will deliver the final conclusion of this presentation.
Thank you, Aditya. Allow me introduce myself. My name is Tiara Febriani. In this final section, I will provide the consolation of our presentation by summarizing the key aspect of Leonardo da Vinci life. From his early beginnings through the remarkable journey of his career to the enduring legacy he left for humanity. Leonardo da Vinci life story culminates in a profound legacy of unmatched genius, blending art, science, and invention across Renaissance Europe. From his humble birth in 1452 near Vinci to his death in 1519 at Cologne in France under King Francis is patronage. He evolved from an illegitimate child with informal education into a polymath, unfinished masterpiece like the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper, alongside thousands of notebook pages on anatomy, engineering, and nature. Redefined human potential. Despite personal setback, abandoned commission, health decline, and few realized innovation, his insatiable curiosity and innovative spirit inspired generation, cementing him as the ultimate Renaissance man whose influence persists in modern science, art, and culture. With that, we have reached the end of our presentation. Once again, we would like to express of sincere gratitude to our honorable lecturer, Mr. Karta Atmaja, for his guidance and support in this project. Thank you very much for your kind attention.